We can continue our discussion, start the meeting. I will start with pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, pledge allegiance, roll call.
All right, Cory Code is absent. Larry Barron,
Here.
Schoenfelder,
Here.
Lynn Polly, absent. Norm Foley is absent, John Center,
Yep.
and Michelle Whitman.
Here.
Okay, public participation rules, wherever those are.
In the back page.
Okay, you're allowed 3 minutes and if you use that up, you're allowed another 3 minutes at the end if we have time, and I don't see us not having time, so.
Should know job.
You should have brought that. And grab us hook from the pontoon.
Okay, approval of minutes or adoption of agenda, excuse me.
Make a motion to adopt.
Larry, John, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. Okay, approval of minutes, May
I'll make
13th.
a motion
John,
that we approve the minutes from May 13th meeting.
I will support.
Michelle, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Okay, public comment. Is anybody online? Okay, Polly said they were gonna maybe try, but okay,
Yeah.
obviously they didn't. All right. Okay, correspondence, we have a report from Mr. Duel. We're gonna vote to accept that.
Yes, I would make a motion to accept the rituals report as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is opposed. Okay, public hearing, case P 0224, Scott Parkham represents Clint and Hannah Bobson. Is that correct? Okay. Request a special approval use to allow a tiny home as primary dwelling on a parcel. Property is located at 6767 Swimmers Cove Road, parcel number 015-028-000-040-040-1 in a waterfront residential zone district.
Oh, make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, okay. Go,
Scott,
Scott,
the floor is yours.
the floor is yours.
So you're building a tiny home for these folks? Okay. Is it, I'm just curious, is it stick built or is it prefab? Stick built, okay. I was just curious about that. I didn't know if they were doing the prefab ones or not.
30. You know this. 32 by 24. Too bad. Too bad. Or 1.5. One bed. The location. No garage.
Summer home? Summer place?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
A lot of times,
everybody says that.
Until they get there.
Summer it gets a little bit more in the fall and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that street is. Plowed.
I was gonna say that'd be a trek in the winter time.
But in recent winters.
Yeah. Global warming.
It's getting muddy.
Yeah.
and this is gonna have sewer and septic, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a lot of tiny homes just are self-contained within themselves. Then you,
No, it's a regular house.
house, yeah,
It falls underneath the. What
minimum,
What the ordinance is for the water permit.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, so it's just not a tiny home, it's just small.
It's just a small.
Got it.
And so, yeah, anything under.
800?
The waterfront, zone water.
Oh, 960, okay,
Minimum 960, bare minimum, I think. Is 250. I think, or the way I read the ordinance. like.
Yeah,
you can't-
250 to 959.
Yeah, you can't put anything under 250, basically, no matter what, which that's a shed. And so, but yeah, 768, I think, is the number.
Yep, that's what it says right there. Thank you.
It would help if you're at my phone and you can't get up. So if you stay out there, be way better.
Everything I just.
Just introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, tell us what the.
Hi, I am Scott Parkham. I'm a contractor representing Clinton Hannah Bobzine. And Janet French, who is the ultimate customer.
Okay, this isn't a tiny home, it's just
It's just a small.
Well, it is,
Okay.
it is a. Per the, per the township's ordinance. And per that section, because it falls under 960, which is minimum for waterfront residential, it's considered a tiny home. But it's. Not a tiny home,
yeah,
so, but
yeah.
It's 3/4 of a tiny home.
for this. For this application, it is considered a
Okay.
tiny home.
Okay.
But yeah, 760 square feet. Where 960 is required.
Do we get any correspondence? Nothing, no.
Nope.
Okay. Mr. Smith wasn't in opposition?
No, no, he was pretty happy.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
They
a
did
neighbor?
too.
He was
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
yeah, he was more curious where I went to college. I just went on a few weekends, that's all. Matter to me.
So,
But no, he was, yeah. And
I
there is a
mean-
view of Middle Island over there.
Yeah.
He showed me that. one.
it's gonna be a nice place to work.
Hmm.
I'm just hoping we can get it done before it gets cold, cause. Or at
Yeah.
least weathered in. Before it gets really cold, cause that wind coming off the lake is not gonna be,
Yeah,
not gonna be nice to work with.
Or easy to work in. Hard for-
Yeah, exactly. But,
that's a nice piece of property.
yeah, I don't know. The one. The lot to the north of this lot is just empty, so. I've never seen the owner of that lot. There,
Who's that?
That would be.
I have that, I don't, it doesn't matter.
I mean, we're well within the setbacks.
Here,
Berger,
Christopher and Deborah. Okay,
I'm prepared to make a motion. if
we'll just
you have any other questions.
quickly. Has everybody reviewed Mr. Dool's
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes,
okay, and he has he's gone through all the standards of, or all the what has to be met to for a home like this, and they were everything
all
was,
standards have been met.
all standards have been met. And then we get to the so I guess we can close.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, okay. All right, our options are to
You did a
approve.
good
I thought
job.
this was gonna be hard.
No.
That's just because you heard Deering was here.
Sometimes it is.
I guess there is a septic and well there or not?
Well,
There is a well there currently,
Okay,
there is not a septic. system.
okay, so I mean, you're going through the obviously the right. You're gonna dot all the i's, cross all the t's with your septic and well and with the health department and.
So, a plan has been permitted for the Trudeau apartment has been.
The plan and the permit through the health department was submitted last year.
Okay,
Because this was. The intent was to build. Our original design. Was. I think in the realm of 1,100, 1,200 square feet. And then there was a communication error between the client, and there were some budget issues, and so that the well was put in place, the health department was the permit's already been pulled, the SDSC, the soil erosion control, that's already been done, the measures have been put in place. Perry's done all his work, that's why he already dug the foundation, and then the brakes were put on because of budget concerns.
And then it's on private roads, so that's not a,
Here's the drain field.
okay, okay.
I think the location of the house is getting moved over. a little bit.
It's actually getting, it's getting moved further away from the north property line.
Okay,
And so, which
Mm.
we were already, I mean, set back there on the edge, I think is 10 feet or 15 feet. And I think we were already 20 or something. And I think we're 38 or something now.
okay. And Kevin will make sure all that stuff is,
Yeah, I already have the building permit for the original set of plans, but I'll have to go through Kevin and just revise it.
okay.
But that's the next step.
Okay, we can make a motion to approve it with no restrictions, make a motion to approve it with restrictions, or a motion to deny.
I'll make a motion to approve the special land use for the construction of a tiny home located at 6767 Swimmers Cove. Based on the findings of fact contained in report 02-24.
I'll support.
Okay, we need a roll call.
All right. Larry,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Don,
Yeah,
Michelle,
Yes,
motion passed.
Okay, do we have to sign anything? We're good? Okay. You are
We're
good.
good.
Go to work.
you're good to go.
Well,
thanks, Scott,
You can hang out for the rest of the meeting, or you can,
which isn't gonna be very long.
I don't think
No,
so.
no, what comes after this isn't nearly as exciting as what we just did. So. It's about we're just gonna talk a little bit about short-term rentals if you have any. Good, good. And that was on our agenda, but seeing we only 4 of the 7 showed up, we're just gonna, if anybody's got any thoughts, oh, there. Well, it's about time.
She's bad.
Oh, she's been on?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
We
muted.
can't hear you.
Unmute yourself.
Have Kevin help you.
Get your grandson,
Yeah,
get your grandkids.
So what do we got for?
So are you in approval of this tiny home or not? Yes, you were. All right.
Do we have any information on the short-term rentals from any guidance or?
We
anything
really
to
don't.
discuss?
Do we, Tom?
Well, whatever we got last, that's the first time I've been around Dylan and she's been.
Hey,
quiet.
now hey,
Oh,
don't be
there,
talking
oh,
about
darn
me.
it.
You have to jinx it.
There you go.
I figured it out, but I'm here with 4 kids, so I muted because it gets noisy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Thanks to Lynn.
Whoops, I gotta figure out how to mute.
The comment from the minutes about Denise saying it'd be a police ordinance. Or, well, was that, did I say the right thing? So basically it would be policed, we don't need to zone them. Is that what her suggestion was?
Yeah, outside of the zoning ordinance.
Police
Yeah.
power ordinance.
but she was gonna get more information for us, wasn't
Yes,
she?
and she's going to.
So, yeah,
She
Yeah.
said maybe have more of a discussion, she would join in on it next time.
Okay.
When there's
Yeah.
more people and Nation was like, yeah, to approve that, so. If we have a meeting in July, then she is available for the July 8th.
Okay.
okay,
Okay,
So you guys are welcome to discuss it.
well, my biggest
But-
thing is if we have zoning for apartments. Why wouldn't we have something in a zoning ordinance for short-term rentals? to accompany the police power ordinance or whatever, because I feel like there needs to be something. Cause it's kind of gone a little bit crazy. There's a lot of the Airbnb, VRBO situations that, you know, I know Mrs. Nathan's mother, Susan, was here a few months ago to raise her concern about the one in her neighborhood. And while the distraction, the parties, the late nights, that is a police power. We can't zone what people do, you know, outside of it. I feel like there needs to be language about it, but not necessarily restriction. I mean, I don't know, is it special use?
I think it was gonna be referenced in there,
Just reference?
yeah,
Okay,
you know, what Denise could clarify.
yeah,
more.
yeah, those are just the thoughts that I had on
Or
it.
the
I'm not
meetings
against.
online too, so go and actually go back and watch that part of the meeting if you wanted, and, you know.
Oh,
Denise
I didn't even
had
think about that.
information.
Okay, yep. Okay,
See,
thank
our,
you.
the reason everybody around state's looking into this, because Airbnbs are. Well, and, you know, so you're living at an address and there's one next to you. And every weekend there's, you know, 30 people come in there and, you know, so that's where we're thinking, we're not, well, we want to think about it. We don't want to just start passing. You know, unenforceable ordinance or rules that, you know,
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand this. I'm not a huge fan of, I mean, I've stayed at Airbnbs, so it's, I don't have, I shouldn't.
I'm doing a meeting.
Nothing. It was a recording.
But, I do have one that is across from my house, and I know when I was thinking, I had a city council meeting. And I think it was Don Gilman who had made the comment of, it was brought up, and the complaint is that it's like, you're kind of just taking homes, and 90% of the time it's vacant, you know, and like in the winter, the sidewalk isn't getting cleared off as quickly. I mean, I know for city code, it has to be cleared off. It's like taking a home and turning it into a home.
Yeah.
So there's a complaint there. There's a warrant. Government interference.
Well,
I'm not quite digital in that direction either.
I'm gonna go watch that part from Denise because I didn't even think about it being online to get the information, but. I mean, I think there needs to be some sort of guideline. And I mean, there's not like, I'm not saying they need to register it or get a special permit or get, you know, special licensing, but. I would think that their homeowners insurance company, if there's a mortgage on it, they've got to have special things in place with that. And from a township perspective, I think we need to like have it be referenced, but ultimately, if there's issues, that's law enforcement. That's. If it's a blight situation, it'll fall under those blight terms. That would be, you know, you were saying the maintenance. And I know of one person that has a place in the city. She lives in South Carolina. Sometimes her people will mow or shovel or do whatever, but more often than not, she's getting phone calls to get it done. So, but again, it falls on her. She's not in blight by any means, but you know, she's getting phone calls that it needs to be mowed.
Maintained.
Yeah, need to shovel.
and the city has their own police force, so they have more.
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
Where we just have the,
I live in the city, so that's.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, but it's still.
But we
in
don't-
the Township, you're not dealing with sidewalks.
Right,
Well, Some,
some,
Yeah.
Well,
but
yeah.
limited, yeah.
for the most part, not
For the
as
most part,
many.
you're not, and so, and it's like. There are, I think a lot of people think about, like Airbnbs. I think the thought is buying a house to use it kind of full time as an Airbnb, but there are a lot of instances where it's like. I gotta leave for 2 weeks. We'll make a couple $100 home gone or something like that.
Right.
It's like,
Mhm.
start making. Like I know you said it's not a permit thing.
Right.
It's like, they're gonna do it once for a week, a year.
But if they're doing it for 8 months a year, you know,
Yeah,
what are they doing to maintain the standards of having a home? You know, I'm looking at like the waterfront things.
Right.
There's standards in that ordinance that need to comply with, and if it's an Airbnb and, you know, they're not complying with the standards of a regular homeowner because it doesn't fall under that, because it's not a traditional single-use family home, you know, then what's our recourse there? Again, I think that police power, whatever that might be, you know, having law enforcement step in is, you know,
But
we need to
wouldn't it-
reference it.
wouldn't it still, well, because it's still a home, or it's still a single family residence per zoning.
Well, it depends on how they've got it insured and mortgaged. They don't have it reported correctly. So if I just bought a house and I have a mortgage on it, but I'm not living there and I'm renting it out month after month,
Yeah,
and something happens, my insurance company can cancel me and not pay a claim.
Hmm.
Same with the mortgage document. When you're signing a mortgage document, you're signing it for the use that the property is intended for. So if I signed it as a single family use home, I'm signing a mortgage document saying that, but then, you know, turning around and, oh no, that's a rental. Well, that changes a lot of things from an underwriting standpoint. So then it goes back down to, I don't know if it changes taxes, but I know it changes insurance.
well, yeah, it would change taxes. Primary residence.
Right,
Right.
yeah, that too, yeah. there
It'd
you
be
go.
similar to a resort.
But
Correct.
then it's, but then
Gotta
it's,
be.
it's primary residence is your primary residence. You have a second one, that's kind of a tax and
And if it's.
You
if
mean
you're
like
doing it right,
a,
it's
like a
tax write-off.
backlot cabin or something behind the house, the mother-in-law house?
oh yeah, like ADUs.
Yeah,
No, I think it's like I mean, you're right that there are other laws and codes already in place that kind of cover it. And yeah, it does, if it does interfere with, or it does affect insurance and underwriting, then that's kind of insurance.
That's their job, not
Their
not
problem.
ours.
Mm.
And
So,
mhm.
yeah,
I mean, I don't think any of us on this commission want to have a special use permit for an Airbnb, because we'll be here for hours
Hmm.
every month,
Mhm.
granting special use permits for
Right.
Airbnbs.
And we don't have the staff to.
Police it.
No.
If we're gonna make a bunch of rules and we
Yeah.
don't have anybody to enforce them, then
Then what's the point?
we're just wasting our time making
Yeah.
rules, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. And if I rent out my primary residence and I rent it out for a week,
that's on you.
or I rent a room, do I have to get a special use permit?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
For a week,
Exactly,
if I'm just
exactly,
renting
yeah.
it to a-
And nobody wants to chase that, but I'm from a family of, I mean, the rental business is pretty massive in my household, and I mean, there's special zoning that we have to do from that perspective, and, you know, if it's a duplex, is it, you know, is it a multi, family, short-term rental, you know, like, you start getting too much in the weeds, you start overthinking it, you're gonna come up with rules that, like Tom said, we can't enforce because we don't have the staffing nor the time.
Mhm.
But also, my concern is that if we don't address it in one way or another, we're gonna have more of the Mrs. Skibbies coming in here and complaining that the neighbors are being too loud.
Yep.
And that's not our job, as part of this commission. So we need to just draw a hard line in the sand, and
Did you get those?
no, I did not.
Okay, she did, Michelle, this is the short-term rentals from
Oh.
Denise, and then there's also some action,
Perfect.
there's been bills drafted.
Perfect.
Not passed at the state level too.
Yeah, and there's no sense in making government bigger, right? We just need to reference. I think
Mhm.
that was my whole point to
Yeah.
wanting to have a discussion on it was,
But yeah, there's already noise ordinances. Ours, so
Yep.
she should have just called.
call the police.
We don't
Yeah.
really have.
This was people partying outside at a bonfire at midnight. I'm like,
Being cool.
yeah.
Big man. or-
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And then maybe not using, maybe using the tree as a facility, you know, and you might have little kids that are watching them use the tree as a facility.
That's never,
Kids should be
So
invited.
there's just, you know, there's just some,
But it's just, it's where, who do they go to complain about it? And I think that we need to write it in our language that it's not up to us to enforce it, it's, because I'm not gonna have that
So
discussion.
Nathan was gonna have, cash come in
Oh,
or somebody from the sheriff's
Okay.
department, wouldn't they?
Cash, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I know a few people that have cottages on the lake and. You know, they have the Airbnb next door. And you almost have to put up a solid privacy fence just to keep them off your property
mhm.
and. You know, that's,
Well, then that's a trespassing issue.
correct.
Between the
Yeah.
owners.
Again, back to the
Right.
police powered
So
ordinance.
Right.
that's yeah,
Yeah,
that would be a court law. issue.
Mhm.
right, and that's. I think,
Might not want to hear, but.
Yeah.
It,
and there's,
so in 2 years, when I have my cottage in the lake and it's only available in May and October, because I'm living there June through September.
you know.
Then I know what I have to deal with.
Yeah.
you help, right?
That's
Yeah, I'll correct it, I'll know the ordinance.
Larry's parties
Yeah,
at his place,
that's
yeah.
why you wanna simplify it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to jump. through hoops.
Exactly, I just, let's, let's do some insight.
Streamline it for now.
But I think that once we get more research and a little bit more definition, the best ideas are not original, let's just put it that way.
Oh, no.
So, if we can steal somebody else's, then
Mhm.
we'll know kind of where we stand.
Well, Denise said that.
So,
Steele
so
did.
I just wanted to add something to that if I could.
Sure.
Okay, so like when Nate was talking about charging a fee and having people register to have their Airbnb, I just wanted to know, or my thoughts on that were, I don't think paying and registering is really gonna change much as far as the police are still gonna be the ones to police it. I just don't know what that fee and that registration is gonna help, and that was just kind of my insight on that. Michelle, what do you think of
I
that?
think it's just a revenue generator for the township, for any municipality, it would just be a revenue generation method.
And also
But again-
more of a database generator.
But yeah.
Money
I
to
don't know,
generate
but
that
what would
database.
Maybe that's something that goes to the CVV and not to the township, because again, how are we gonna know if, unless I'm telling you guys that, hey, I bought this great place and I'm making it an Airbnb, how are you guys gonna know?
Never.
And
Yeah.
again, it just starts getting further and further down the line for reporting requirements that taxes everything from a human resource
Mhm.
all the way on, so. It would be a great revenue generation method to get, special. A permit for Airbnb, but I think that, that falls more under a CVB and not a municipality kind of situation, Convention and Visitors Bureau, I mean, you look
See, and
at
that's
hotel
what I
receipts.
was thinking. that-
Yeah, you look at your hotel receipts and you're paying just as much in tourism fees as you are for a night at the hotel. So, that falls more on
Guys, you're gonna lose that.
the chamber, the CVB, those kind of people, again. Unless somebody wants to make a compelling argument in the coming months, I don't see a reason why we need to. Permit it and zone it specifically, because then like I said, again, we'll just be in here doing. Special use permits and rewriting zoning for Airbnbs
Mhm.
and potentially. Making a lot of real estate agents mad because they can't turn a property because, oh, you can't do it this way kind of thing. You can't make it an Airbnb because the township doesn't have its own that way.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say was I thought, it's a little bit outreach for the township to try and control and make money off of Airbnb when the police are gonna do all the work no matter what.
Right.
So that was all I had to say. I'm gonna
Okay.
go because these kids are getting anxious, so.
All right.
Thanks, Dylan.
Ice cream.
All right, bye. Whoops.
Okay, and Lynn's gonna get you this stuff.
Cool. I got it. You got it. Yep.
I could take some too.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
wasn't-
John.
I wasn't here.
Virtual
Oh,
copy
okay.
and electronic copy. Just email it to me.
John, you have this, right? Okay.
Probably. Or no, we didn't, no,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
it was not put on the agenda.
Just email it
On
to
the
me.
table.
I don't need it, I don't need it in a big fat hurry. We'll wait till next month. Cool.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Cause the city does have a rental inspection program, right? Yeah.
Yep.
See, we
Does the
don't,
township? No?
no, well, they tried that one time and then the place was full the next meeting. and
Oh,
then
yeah.
They decided not to do that,
Well, that's because
but we didn't write it.
they went under a different ordinance. That got misunderstood, I believe. Yeah, there were some real sensitive people here.
So you got to meet my in-laws.
I know you're in law. Were you here? I know them from church. But
They might not have anything in the township now that I'm thinking about it.
I don't,
I do, but.
yeah. But there were mostly people complaining about, you know, that they'd have to jump through hoops to do any kind of home improvement if they wanted to, and blah, 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 and then they make them change your roof and do all kinds of stuff to bring it up to standards. And they didn't like all that stuff.
Okay.
There was a whole lot to it. That was one in my block down. That and the lady that prayed for us. I don't remember who she was from. Well, she was out on Misery Bay. I think.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, that was, yeah, that wasn't both.
That was about the hog farm down there.
Yes.
They're gonna build a hog farm. I've been here too long.
Hmm.
Just today.
Uh,
Okay,
Okay,
anything else?
Make motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate your